We've all heard it, guys. So-and-so isn't politically correct. You can't say that. It's not PC. This person's a snowflake because he or she's offended by everything you say. What's ironic about PC culture is everyone hates it. Everyone's complaining about it all the time. There was a poll late last year in The Atlantic that asked Americans whether or not political correctness is a problem. So it didn't even define what political correctness was. It just said, is political correctness a problem? What it found is that an overwhelming majority of Americans, including young people, minority people, think that this is a problem. Expression, and you ask a question about it. Or let's say you refer to someone by an incorrect pronoun or use an outdated expression. You don't have malicious intent, but you're merely ignorant and uninformed. In a lot of circles, you are reduced to a bigot or a sexist or a transphobe for simply being ignorant about a topic. This issue is pervasive on college campuses. Let me introduce that idea with an extreme example of PC culture on college campuses. A few years ago, the University of New Hampshire released a bias-free language guide with the goal of helping to foster healthy language to refer to all people. Some of the recommendations struck people as common sense. The guide recommends using Black or African American instead of Negro. But some of the suggestions, guys, were a little excessive. The bias-free language guide suggests using U.S. citizen or resident of the U.S. instead of American, because North Americans often use American, which, depending on the context, fails to recognize South America. The guide says you should not use the term elder or senior citizen. I think I used both terms in my segment of pets. You should use people of advanced age. The justification is that old people, the idea of the wording of an old person has a stigma. And we have to euphemize age. Euphemize it. Advanced age lacks the stigma of an old person, an elder, senior citizen. The guide says you should use the term people of size instead of overweight or obese people. But this one is problematic because literally there's a scientific basis to this terminology. The body mass index chart, which doctors use, to characterize someone's weight, it literally says overweight and obese measure the severity of their weight problems. I mean, should we rewrite the science, UNH? I mean, we can't use illegal alien. That's improper. We need to use undocumented immigrant or person seeking refugee. We can't say guys when referring to people. I mean, you guys have heard. I'm like a man. I would be an offender. We can't say guys. We have to say folks or people or y'all because it's gendered. Okay, folks. Okay, people. Let me know if y'all think that's okay. We can't say handicapped or physically challenged. We must say wheelchair user or person who is wheelchair mobile, physically disabled, or quadriplegic. I tell you, some of these suggestions from the bias-free language guide, they would lead to a lot of verbose conversations. So the other day, I was with a person of advanced age who may have been a wheelchair user or physically disabled and a person of size. I mean, who speaks like this? This is like Captain Holt from Brooklyn Nine-Nine or that guy Sheldon from Big Bang Theory. I think he talks like that. You can't say deaf person. You have to say person who's hard of hearing. I wish I was making this up. I'm actually going to post a link to the guide in the details section so you can check it out yourself. But the University of New Hampshire actually published this bias-free language guide. They got a lot of pushback. They took it down.